You guys couldn't hear me the whole time. I was just saying how last night I didn't get to really complete I was making like a big point, and I never got to complete that point. So I'll be completing that point as well as some other stuff. Um, but you know what? Maybe it's for the best. I was exhausted, and I probably would have ended up up even later. And once it gets to a certain time, it's like not even worth going to sleep. So even though Amanda is visiting today, it's like I could have slept, but I'd rather just get to sleep tonight. I only need like 4 hours. I'm good. So everything's good in Beantown. Yep. How you doing, Brandy? Um, Good to see you. And by the way, any of the mods, if you're missing a wrench or anything like that, I noticed yesterday, like Joe Shields was missing his. At what point, Sure Bear wasn't only missing hers, but she was like blocked. I had a rogue mod a couple weeks ago, if you guys remember, and I thought I fixed everything, but I guess not. So, Peggy, how you doing? Good morning. And I said hello to Rethink Everything, of course. And let's see what else we got. How was everyone here doing? Anything interesting going on here? Oh, no sound. Mark Knott. Hello. Good to see you. Should be good now. Murphy's Law. How you doing? I've been recommending your channel a lot lately. I watch you. I like your shows. All right. So the few things I want to go over. First, I want to kind of like finish the point I was making last night. So basically, Amanda, can you keep it down, please? All right, thank you. It's like they do it on purpose. So last night I was talking about is our president at risk? I believe that there might be some of you guys who question if the coronavirus is being hyped. I'm not one of those people. In fact, I think they're definitely hyping it now. I mean, because we've never seen anything like this before. People keep comparing it to other things. We've never seen anything that's been this global in so many different types of countries, like every continent. Now that it's spreading in the U.S., eventually it's going to be in every state. It's just the problem with it is the fact that you go asymptomatic for so long. You can go asymptomatic for they say normally 2 weeks, 10 days to 14 days, but a healthy young person could go 3 weeks, which is why I don't understand the 2-week quarantine. There's been a few issues with that 2-week quarantine. By the way, they let them out after 14 days, and they end up testing positive a week later. Like literally, that's what they should do. 3 weeks. It seems like 3 weeks is good. They had it recorded at one point. It was just one place, and a couple people had gone 23 days without showing symptoms, and they knew exactly, like they were able to narrow it down because it was so little at the time. 23 days. I mean, this is just a certain particular situation with a young female, I believe. But anyways, with this all going on, and the way Trump has his rallies, with the Democratic, they're running for president. They're not going to be out there shaking too many hands anymore and kissing babies. I think those days of you're not going to see too much of that. And I was thinking nobody in government will get it. If they do, it'll be, small, maybe state, maybe a governor somewhere. Well, it turns out that nope, we actually have a big, big problem because the members of our government, the Senate and the House, um, basically Trump's administration, they're always having meetings, especially now. I mean, everybody's working overtime on this thing. As you guys know, they released 8.35 or 8.38, 8.3 something billion with a B billion dollars to fight this coronavirus. That's a lot of money. Um, I guess it was even they were very liberal, for lack of a better term, about giving that money, which I think is a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Trump was actually expecting less, but we have a problem now where we have major players in our government being affected by the coronavirus in a way that none of us have experienced. If you guys don't know, I'll tell you right now. So, I already yesterday I was reporting to you guys, or no, 2 days ago I was reporting to you guys, because at the time, this is the only information available, was that Ted Cruz was being quarantined, self-quarantined, but quarantined nonetheless, because he had it must have been a certain meeting where they ate and, hung out and all that. So I kind of thought it might be a Texas, congressman, a congresswoman. Just, just him being a Texas senator, I just figured that might be the case. Now I don't think that so much anymore, because guess who else needs to quarantine? Matt Gaetz, Meadows. You guys know Meadows. I mean, this is like the who's who of the Republican Party. It's really weird. It's all Republicans from what I saw. All these guys are needing to quarantine because there is another congressman who I've been trying to find the name, but it doesn't seem like they want to put it out there. But there's another congressman who tested positive. And when I say that, I don't mean preliminary, and we know how that goes. It's a whole slew of tests, and sometimes the CDC tests, I don't know. I know that there's been a lot of false positives. So, I kind of wait for the final CDC test before I call something positive. Otherwise, just presumptive. But there's a positive test on a U.S. congressman. And while he was asymptomatic, and this is what I think some of the people who downplay this virus, this is like what they don't understand. And they're intelligent people. I'm not trying to call anyone stupid. It's not like that. It's just, this is why it's so deadly. There's two reasons: how long you go asymptomatic, and two, and maybe even more importantly, definitely more importantly, is the transmission rate, the I-naught number, as they call it. So, I mean, if you remember, like when I first started talking about the coronavirus back January 23rd, I said the I-naught number seemed to be above 2.5, but I actually thought it was just over 3 or something like that. And then for a while, I kept on going up. at this point, we're seeing numbers like 3.8, but the math isn't working out to that. It's just not. Um, the math looks more like a 4.8, which I actually did end up seeing in a depends. It depends what you're reading. Honestly, you're gonna get a different I naught number. This is a dynamic situation. Everything just is changing day by day. So you'll get a 3.8, and actually I did see a 4.8 because I remember thinking that I had heard it was around 4. I said, but I think it's closer to 5. So I nailed it. It was 4.8. So we now have people in our government with it. Now here's the big problem. Not only did he meet with Matt Gates, not only did he meet with Ted Cruz, not only did he meet with Mark Meadows, I believe that's the correct, and others. There's others as well. But I mean, that's like a who's who. But he also met with the president. He had a meeting with the president, and the president, um, what they're reporting is basically that the president isn't going to get a test. He's not going to be tested for the coronavirus. Um, I don't know if that's his decision. And honestly, I don't even know if I truly believe it. You're trying to tell me that the Secret Service is going to let the president, who just had a meeting, let's say like a week or two ago, with somebody who is now positive in Congress, and he's not going to get the test? I mean, the Secret Service, I think they would have basically no choice but to make sure he gets tested. I mean, what do you guys think? And Pepper Gal brings up a good point. And staying true to her name. Guys, there's certain areas of the country where it's like you go to the store, you can't get certain items. It's just how it's going to be. And you probably already prepped up if you live in those areas. If you're not prepped up yet, guys, you got to get prepped up. I mean, this virus has proven that it's not just going to, we're not just going to stomp it out the way a lot of people thought. Um, I wasn't surprised at all from the beginning. It was more of a feeling, but as I listened to the science, I just thought to myself, and then once I heard, Chinese New Year right after this outbreak, and then all these flights were allowed to go on, I knew it. I said, that's it. And they declared the WHO declared the emergency 1 week too late. We stopped the flights probably 2 weeks too late. Um, I don't know. And Trump still got crap for doing it when he did it. But for those of you guys who are not prepped, and when I say prepped, it's not like a bug out situation like you read about or you see about with some of the prepper channels. This is a bug in situation, right? So if you're in a place where there's a high transmissive rate, it's going around, and you might want to, your kids might be out of school, you might want to just stay in and honestly get a bunch of food that doesn't perish so easy. Anyone that has any ideas, put them in there. So
If these aren't floating,
all right, hold on.
not filled with helium, Matt?
I don't know.
Right?
No, I don't think so.
So they're not filled with helium.
I don't think so.
'Cause they never
Maybe.
float.
Maybe. I don't know, man.
So I think it's just air. Let's just
All
pop
right.
it. Because I was going to do the suck thing, but she wants to pop the balloon. Alright, we're going to pop it. It doesn't have the right.
All right, how you guys doing? All right, so looks like I'm gonna have to do it like this on the phone. So the camera's over there. I always mix that up. All right, so all right, so I hope yeah, not everyone made it back, but we were talking about prep items. Let me see. All right, so there's chat. All right. Oh, thank you, sunshine. So we were talking about basically like different prep items and ideas and things like that. So, oh man, I am surrounded by stuff. Sometimes when you do like spring cleaning like that, yeah, it's like things are clean, but you end up with more crap. My whole bed is full of equipment. Okay, so